Okay, so in this session, we are going to discuss about certain things that you should know about structures. Okay, the very basic thing that you should know about structure is a struct keyword is used to create a structure. Okay, as you know, here is by the way, we solve various problem on structures, and if you want to create a structure, as you can see, if you want to create a structure, there is a one variable called there is one keyword called as struct keyword. So this is the basic thing, like if you want to define a structure or create a structure, then struct keyword is used. The second thing that you should know about structure is that each member or element which is defined inside a structure is assigned a unique memory location. So element inside a structures are nothing but this id, marks, and name. Each and every member will get a separate memory location. So that is about your second point, like each member or element in structure is assigned with a unique memory location. Okay, the third most important point is there, and that's why it is highlighted over here. The size of a structure is equal to the sum of size of its elements. Size of a structure is equal to the sum of sizes of its element. Now, in order to calculate the size of this whole structure, so the formula is add the size of each element. Like size of element is basically calculated by their data type. If the data type is integer, then the memory size requires is 4 byte. If data type is float, then the size is nothing but your 8 bytes. If there is a single character, then 1 byte. So in this case, we have two integers. So can I say that the size for first is 4 bytes, and size for second element is again 4 byte because it is also an integer. But in this case, this is a character, and this is not a single character, it is an array of character. In order to store a single character, 1 byte is required. But in this case, the size is 20. So that's why the size to store this particular thing is what? 20 bytes. So in this case, this thing will require 20 bytes. Now, in order to calculate the size of student structure, we'll add 20 plus 4 plus 4, which is nothing but a 28. So if I calculate the size, or if I print the size of a particular structure, or this particular structure, then the answer will be 28. Okay, and how to print the size, by the way? In order to print the size, you have one function or operator called as size of operator. So in this case, if you want to calculate the size of s1, then what will you write is printf percent d. Why percent d? Because size of will return integer value, and then you will use size of, and then mention s1 over here. Then it will calculate the size and then sample, and then this size of is responsible for calculating the size uh, of defined parameter. So here I'm defining s1, then it will calculate the size of s1, which is nothing but in our case 28. Okay, so this is all about your third point. Now, individual member can be accessed at a time. As you can see, I'm accessing the individual members over here. Okay, so I'm accessing and retrieving individual members. So these 2 points are almost similar. You can retrieve any member at a time, and basically the structure is mainly used for storing various types of data. That means if you want to store mixed type of data, then it is always better to go for structures. Okay, so this is all about structures. Now in the next session, we are going to discuss about union.